everybody, and welcome back to Is It Kino, your favorite movie review podcast about the act of cinema! We got a comment from Owen Johns on the recent Wicked 2 review. He says, so glad there's a third random guy with terrible audio in this episode. All forbid it just be two entertaining people that I like. Well, Owen, this one's for you, brother. It's just your two best friends, Mumkey and Eggy. How you doing, Eggy?
Well, we've got two Mumkey and Eggy video review today. Oh my goodness, I tell you, I'm feeling like a capo over here. I've been watching Untouchables. I just watched the whole first season of The Sopranos for the first time. I watched another film we're gonna review tomorrow. We don't need to speak over it. Listen, look at it.
Now you might be thinking,
my hair.
Untouchables? Is this a film about Mumkey and Eggy their entire lives?
That's what I thought, and then all of a sudden, well, especially with how the film starts with the first action scene, I thought maybe this was Lay Oldie Roger, perhaps. And I ain't talking about the gold one. I'm talking about the one who didn't grow old one.
You said Roger, and it reminded me the hero of the film is named Elliot. There's so many great connections in this Brian De Palma film. Homeboy Dream Machine hooked us up again, $100 to pick a movie. And he also has us covering Carlitos Way coming up pretty soon. So I think he's the only person who's been paying us to review stuff in the last, 3 months, Eggy. I think it's just been him.
Well, first off, I want to say he's got great picks, great taste. This was over Thanksgiving and things. I was watching these films with my family members. Carlitos Way, which we'll get to tomorrow. I got this little... I guess I'm already thinking about it. Maybe they won't hear both episodes. I guess that was the first film my parents ever saw on their first date.
Wow.
They went on their first dates in 1993 or something. It was in theaters.
Eggy only exists because of Carlitos Way. They fell in love watching that film and probably made Eggy that very night. Are these not the parents that made you?
Nah. Yeah. I was in my parents' wedding, let's just say that, Hey, we're talking about family, complicated family issues.
I should have realized you were already alive in 93. Oops.
Hey, I probably, I was gaining sentience. But anyway, yeah, seen it with, I guess they hadn't watched it in probably 20 years. They did rewatch it at some point, but really great picks. And since I've gotten back into doing some live streaming again and things lately, people have been hitting me up. Oh, can you do this stream together? We'll pay you. Can we do this? We'll pay. So but I just like to watch movies, and these are great movies to watch. It's not punishing, and so I have to say I've been very pleased with how it's been, and I salute Mr. Dream Machine very much for his patronage and also his cultural cinematic sensibilities.
Yeah, De Palma is a very solid 4-star director. I keep giving him these 4 out of 5s on Letterboxd, which when I did every single Spielberg movie, he certainly had a lot of movies far below 4 stars. Maybe De Palma has some real stinkers that we're never going to see, was there a femme fatale movie I brought up?
Black Dahlia, is that the one that keeps getting something along those lines? Every time that I'm talking about, because I've been telling people, I even told my cab driver the other day, I said, he's like, oh, so what are you doing? I'm like, just about to go do these film reviews. He said he's going to come find the channel and follow it, but wow. We're on a Brian De Palma streak, and there's...
So Black Dahlia came out after Femme Fatale, so maybe we should do that as our next double feature. Maybe it's a double feature of shit.
We need to temper our expectations of what Mr. De Palma is capable of. We've seen all the good, and just like with all of my gambling YouTubers I like to watch, you never want to show all the wins because it's you want to be able to get a nice balance of things going on. So maybe we'll do that for the freebie. Otherwise, hey, who knows?
I'm looking at his filmography, and every single film was released through a different distributor, which is very strange. I feel like I don't know how it used to be back in the day, I suppose, but every single movie was distributed through somebody else. But that's not that interesting, I suppose. Eggy, this is a true life story about Al Capone getting caught. And it takes place, of course, during the Prohibition era, 1930s. And there's a lot to talk about within the movie and around the movie because we're living 100 years later, and I feel like history is repeating itself. But instead of America banning alcohol in the Prohibition, in the modern day, now the alcohol lobbyists are so powerful and rich, they literally pay our congressmen to ban weed. There's a new prohibition of weed going into effect right now. 100 years later after original Prohibition because of alcohol. Isn't that insane? They went from being banned to 100 years later being so powerful and influential over our government that they could do the same thing to something else.
Well, and it's been very interesting because, I think this administration that we're living under now has a lot of the same moving parts that it did, because this was in 2018 that this farm bill basically kind of gave us the green light. Back then
green light?
Yeah. They made it all A-okay. But yeah, it's really you see people online, I feel like, who they want to do something, they want to kind of muck around a little bit in something that makes them feel like they're making a good change. And I see a lot of this now that I'm back on Twitter, where they'll have one little kind of seeming victory amongst a bunch of terrible things going on, and they like to hold that one little thing high. And I think it's unfortunate. People, I understand, need to have something that makes them feel good, and maybe if that's what makes certain people feel good when they're not receiving the kinds of victories culturally or economically, etc., in other areas, like everybody's losing their jobs, or the wages are being depressed, or whatever is going on, different things. But being able to kind of beat up on a character.
Oh, Eggy froze up for a second there. Repeat that last sentence. You froze up on us.
Okay. But yeah, just kind of this hollow victory, I would call it, because Gen Z, they're not drinking as much alcohol anymore. So, I mean, who's gonna win here anyway? They're gonna try to make alcohol forced on people. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but
yeah, repealing the farm bill THCA loophole and making it so it's back to the states or whatever. Are they going to keep pushing and try to get it banned in the states that legalized it?
Well, I think right now we're just looking at I don't see why not, because
if you can just sign a check to Mitch McConnell for $900,000 and that's all it costs to destroy $1 billion industry, I mean, holy shit, fuck these people.
Well, and all these politicians, these senators, these are the ones that have been in office for 70 years already to begin with. So they're the ones that were all saying, oh yeah, Oxycontin, let's feed that to the children, let's feed that to, your toe hurts, we're going to give you just a lifetime supply of opioids, Percocets. Now these people are dead on the street from fentanyl overdoses. All of their constituents are dead. Their lives are ruined. But, some people are smoking a little bit of weed. We got to, flip it on them. Like I said, it's a hollow victory, because where are we at with, the thousands of kilograms of fentanyl that's coming in from every single port, coming in all across the southern states, even from Canada, they're bringing it in now, because it's just, they don't have enough people to track it, or who knows if they even care in the first place.
Shout out Purple Colonel. He's importing all the drugs from Canada for us. So yeah, history's repeating itself was my first big takeaway watching this film. And the second is, wow, Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro, and fucking James Bond, Sean Connery, 3 of our greatest Caucasian leading men sharing the stage in this film. We've been on a little bit of a De Niro kick lately, our Bender, and I was delighted to see him here as Al Capone. I had no idea this movie existed and that these 3 men starred in it together. And should we do a game of dueling Sean Connery impressions? Should we ruin the podcast 9 minutes in and try to do that?
Well, let's see. I just drank some Irish water, so let me see if I got it here. Well,
the first rule of the law enforcement is to go home alive, boy.
I just seen that no good spaghetti slinger over there. He's got an accuracy that'll make sure we pop all these no good meatball.
Yeah, doesn't he call a guy a wop a few times?
These fucking wops.
I'm sure that's Italians aren't that, they're like the safe one to use epithets against, right? No, it doesn't catch on
any white group. You can be racist against, Eggy. You can say the N-word for any white person. And Sean Connery certainly can. What are your top of mind takeaways from this fine film, Eggy?
Well, you know what? And I guess this is maybe even more to do with the whole scenario, which is based on a true story, maybe even more than the actual just film itself, the elements of the film. Thought it's a fine film, but how they catch Al Capone on tax evasion. That's the thing, is that his infamously brought him down when they couldn't finger him for any of his actual criminal exploits. It was the income tax. And I think to myself, was this all really just like some kind of some theater? Like nowadays we have the whole Epstein thing, where it's like everybody's kind of playing an act. Was this the act of its time in order to make the IRS more powerful than it should have been? Because we also have the Great Depression was an inside job for those who don't know. It was basically the bank bailout of its time. FDR, we have him here around this time with his going door to door with armed men, digging up the gold out of your backyard, stealing it. And all of a sudden income tax. Oh, look, it's taking the crime off the streets. Everybody, let's fund the IRS a whole lot more.
And our hero, Kevin Costner, works for the Treasury Department. And it's the Treasury Department's job to go find bootleggers and people who are selling illegal liquor and stuff. I didn't know that was their responsibility, so that was also interesting.
And I don't know too much about the Bureau of Prohibition beyond what is portrayed in this film, but I would have to wager a guess that probably this Bureau of Prohibition, at the dissolution of Prohibition, if it didn't become the ATF, it probably had large influence, I would imagine. I don't have that in front of me. I could just be completely wrong here, but, two sort of extra outside of the traditional government bonds agencies who are tasked with these things of bootlegging and, whatever other... Why do you have all these guns for? That might be legal and that might be in the Constitution, but I don't know. I just need to, be a freak and look through your windows and wiretap you, da-da-da. I don't like any of it. And as obviously Al Capone was a criminal and he was a bad guy, he's blowing up children. We don't like it.
Yeah, we can get into it, because I also have a feeling that Al Capone is morally righteous over Kevin Costner in this film, and I'm prepared to defend that.
And if I want to say maybe one other thing that could be a top of mind, is probably because it's really the only critique that I have for the film, and it is a major plot point. So you might know what I'm hinting at.
Spill it.
Okay, so Mr. James Malone, the beat cop who joins up with Mr. Elliot Ness, portrayed by Sean Connery. There's a point in the movie where Mr. Malone, his house is broken into.
We could just say the actors' names. It's easier for everybody.
Okay, sure. So Sean Connery is in there taking a shower, whatever. One of these Capone hitmen is like trying to come in the house. He comes in with a switchblade, trying to gut him, but Sean Connery kind of catches him and he's chasing him out the door. And when he reaches the door and kind of shoos him off, like, get out of here, I'm going to get you. Capone had another hitman from a vantage point up on like one of these fire escapes or whatever. He's aiming down and he shoots Sean Connery probably like 12 to 15 times.
It's like a big Tommy gun or something.
Yeah.
Splattered his whole torso, turns around, gets his back 8 times as well.
He goes down in a pool of blood and he starts crawling.
Well, because here's the thing.
This is what we see.
He stepped outside of his doorway, and what's the lesson he says? The first rule of law enforcement is to go home alive. And what's his final action? Falling into his house and crawling in, making it home alive.
That's true. However, with that being said, see, that was fine enough. Now, the next scene that we cut to is Elliot Ness and his associate, one of these other policemen. They're pulling up to the door. They're going in. And obviously, they see the blood splatter everywhere. There's blood trails, something. Oh, yeah, here we go. They're about to find Sean Connery's corpse. Okay, whatever. So they go in, and Sean Connery's in there, covered in blood. I'm like, okay. Did he not just get shot like 20 times and then crawled across the floor? I mean, just even to have the strength for that was quite spectacular. But
Eggy, this is based on a true story. All of this movie happened for real. What are you bitching about? That man got shot 20 times, crawled through his house, and then laid there for an hour just fine. It's real. Don't look it up.
Well,
you think De Palma would lie?
It just seemed a little bit exceptional, perhaps, is all that he's in there and he's able to kind of have the cognitive ability also to direct him to like what he's pointing at over on the side there, to point to the paperwork. I
wonder if the wiki tells us how much of this is true. Like, did the accountant who caught all the no good accounting really get shot by like an undercover cop in the police station? Because that's brutal.
I mean, and that I could see, and this is another thing that you think of when you watch films that are crime films and also set in these particular periods, because it was that kind of time then where you could shoot somebody and then just like put on a different hat outside and walk away, and well, we don't know who it was. It could be anybody.
Yeah, robbing a bank in the 1880s must have been so easy. Although every single person has a gun though, so maybe not. But should we do everybody's favorite part of a podcast and read from Wikipedia? Because I found the historical accuracy section of the article. While the film is based on historic events, most of the film is fictionalized or inaccurate. Okay, maybe I was wrong, Eggy. Maybe that guy didn't survive becoming Swiss cheese and bleeding out. The raid at the Canada-United States border never happened, and neither did the courthouse or railway station shootouts. Ness did not kill Needy. Was Needy the accountant?
Frank Nitti was the major assassin. You know, the scene where they're
when he pushes him off the building.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Yeah, they're in court. They're at Capone's trial after they get the one guy to be willing to testify after the train station shootout. A couple train station shootouts, these movies that we've watched lately, so I had to kind of keep them straight here. But yeah, there's a shootout. It takes him in to testify, and when they're at the trial, then they see Nitti having the pistol in his pocket or whatever. So then they take him out.
Which is also something he learned from Sean Connery's character when he says, "Oh, how'd you know I had a gun?" "Oh, what kind of officer are you? Don't know." So even after his death, Sean Connery's ghost is helping him solve the case.
But I want to say, speaking of accuracies...
I still want to keep reading this as what you're done, but go ahead.
I took a second myself here. For the record, the Bureau of Prohibition later turned to the Alcohol Tax Unit, which then was turned into the ATF. So, I mean, really, it's these same criminals that have been here for 100 years. You know, they're involved in taking away everything we love. Makes me sick, to be honest, but go ahead.
Ness did not kill Needy, who died in 1943, 12 years after the Capone trial, by suicide, the day before Needy was scheduled to be in court. Okay, we're Jeffrey Epsteining people throughout history, I suppose.
Yeah.
I committed suicide the day before I had to testify. Oh,
what did I just say? I'm telling you, this is what it is. You know, prohibition, bank fraud, stock market fraud. It isn't that it's just happening, folks. It's when you just start pulling the thread. You're pulling it back and back. They tell me it goes back about 300 years. I haven't done all the research on that. And they talk about the Ottoman Empire, too. I think it's a little bit too far back for me. But at least in this country, we could definitely see about 125 years of time frame here where it's just a nonstop foolery going on.
Are you much of an expert on the Roman Empire? Because there's a line in here about the Romans, if somebody tried to bribe a public official, they would cut that person's nose off. And wow, like it's literally the law of the land that the Congress can receive bribes. Like the exact opposite of the Roman Empire is what we live in. Fucking hell. And I don't know anything else about the Roman Empire, but if that was the law, bribing officials gets you publicly fucking maimed. Sounds like paradise compared to the hellscape we're trapped in, Eggy.
Yeah, I think that's why they say that empires usually last about 250 years. You know, what are we on, 249 this year? Oopsies.
It might be for the best because this empire sucks. I say kill every single politician and let's name the country something else. And then in 250 years, they can kill our descendants. It's fine. It'll be fair. It's our turn for revolution.
I mean, what otherwise is the point of being a relatively young man at the final year of the empire? I mean, I'm here to have a good time, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been doing that, but at the end of the day, you know, when you take away my Dank Kush combo and whatever, I mean, pretty much everything with the jobs market is we just lost like another 50,000. 80% of the current economy is NVIDIA, like 80% of GDP in the 2025 fiscal year was buying NVIDIA stock.
Just so it can generate AI slop?
Yep. Well, at least that was the report, I think, for the third fiscal quarter, was 80% of GDP movement was related to AI investments, which is basically nothing and completely worthless, and is 100% garbage in every application that's ever been seen in so far.
Is Eddington the greatest film of all time about how these tech companies are taking over and then turning us against each other with bullshit culture war nonsense? Because that's literally what's happening.
Speaking, I'm sure you've heard about computer RAM lately.
Hartsey was bitching about it in the chat that it went up like, what, 400%?
Yeah, 400 to 500, depending on what kind you're using and what the size is. So it's a good thing that I just coincidentally happened to buy it back in June because when I got my new laptop, I got some more. So lucky coincidence, but yeah, that's I mean, it is possibly the most cyclical, cannibalistic economic bubble. So it's going to be some fun times. Everybody make sure you can jog a good 6-minute mile. I've been taking my vitamins lately. It might not look like much, but at the same time, I've been seeing what time it is. It is what it is. Elliot Ness, he seemed like a nice guy. I'm sure, he was doing the right thing for his time. He took down a criminal, and maybe some of us have to also by voting and, by being peacefully protesting and so on and so forth. But yeah.
One other note from the historical accuracy, they say the scene where Al Capone beats a lieutenant to death with a baseball bat is based on an urban legend, albeit one that historians doubt actually happened. The one act of violence Al Capone actually personally does in the film was not even real. Why are they trying to take this man down? Just trying to help his fellow man get a delicious beverage at the end of the day, and he's the most notorious gangster of all time? You're right, none of this is fair.
Well, and we see, there is the first scene in the film that portrays Elliot Ness kind of going on this deep dive because we have the more fleshed out Canadian border raid, but they say, oh, he's shipping Canadian whiskey. It was funny because I'm watching this with my parents in the living room, and they say, oh, yeah, they got a shipment of Canadian whiskey coming across the border. And I said to my dad, I go, oh, this makes sense. Canadian whiskey, the only way they could get people to drink that stuff was during Prohibition. That's how they must have got it into the country in the first place. Because for those who don't know, Canadian whiskey is the most sickening. I mean, you might as well just drink rubbing alcohol with some food coloring in it. It's the most atrocious, disgusting. The first time I ever got sick during a live stream was drinking that crap. And it has a reputation. I'm from Minnesota. They know, even the homeless people don't drink that. They drink Mad Dog wine and they drink Boone Farm wine. Canadian whiskey is truly an atrocious affront to the beautiful world of liquor.
Our second shout out to Purple Colonel.
But the maple syrup is very delicious, and I like poutine as well. That's a great invention.
Do they really get credit for pouring gravy on top of French fries and cheese curds? I think I could have invented that. That seems more Midwestern than Canadian.
Yeah, I don't really know what the origin is, but to be honest,
I think King Cobra invented that. To be quite honest. He doesn't have to know it exists to invent it himself. It's like how my cat thinks he invented fetch.
That's very true. I don't know the history of it. Probably, I think it was Quebecois, or however you pronounce that. French Canadians, of which I could speak on because that's some of my family ancestry. They're kind of like the we did everything of Canada. They're very full of themselves, and I guess I could say that. I'm one, and I am too. So and I also like to be full of gravy, cheese.
You're French Canadian?
Mm-hmm.
So half of you is trying to assassinate Candace Owens.
It's not a full half. No, I'd probably
1/16 of Eggy wants to kill that bitch.
It could be 10%, and that probably tracks. That's about right.
Did you notice one of Al Capone's businesses was called Uncle Frank's Feed and Seed, formerly Chuck's?
I didn't actually. was that when the accountant's reading off all the different shell businesses, which is a great scene, by the way, because that's kind of a little bit of free game. We're talking about our, how income tax, IRS, it's all a scam. It's all been a trap from the beginning, as far as I'm concerned. Didn't we leave England to stop paying tax? Anyway.
And that was like a 3% tax, too. I think we did the Boston Tea Party over a 3% tax, and now I'm pretty sure I'm getting taxed 60% of my income every year. If you consider it, every time you make a purchase, you get taxed 6%, I'm probably spending more in taxes than anything else.
That's true, and I can tell you, do keep track of it because I tried to go away from it, and now I have an injunction or whatever it is on my record. They took my wages for 4 months last year. It is what it is.
What would they do? How would they do that to me if I don't have a job? Would they just be shit out of luck? They're gonna take my Patreon money?
It is very difficult. See 4 people in that position. I think the way to do it is there's a certain percentage of income. That's why I think they took like 30% of my paycheck or something like that each week at the time until it fulfilled the obligations. And I think for those who are self-employed or independent contractors, what you can do is say, oh, well, actually, my income has dropped to so-and-so, or you could report it like a certain type of way. And they have to give you a certain minimum amount that you do receive that they can't touch, because that would be like the minimum that you need to be able to sustain yourself, to pay your bills and have your food and so on and so forth. So it makes it more difficult. And largely, I would say, unless you're making like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, like big top dog, numero uno influencer kind of money, it's probably not going to be enough for them to really care about. At least that's what I've been. I don't want to say too much. Let's just say, what I've been served for. They could maybe flip a couple more scripts, a couple more pages. Maybe there's a little more in there they could come after me for. But I don't know.
They're going to lock Eggy up. He's going to prison, folks. He's going to...
You see, this is how I did it, kind of like Capone in a way. Well, this is all a fictional tale, by the way. This is not admissible in court. What I'm about to say is
we're 26 minutes into an Is It Kino. No important person is possibly listening to this.
So, I was getting it. Boom, you got the direct PayPal. Boom, you got your super chats. That's different, comes different. Boom, you got your merch and then things like that. That comes different. And so basically, you got your Cash App comes different. You got your Venmo comes different. And so you just keep, and I think it's changed. They're doing the $600 thing now. So I'm talking about years past where they didn't have this. And I'm not so in touch with all the laws, so it might still be a little bit different now. But anyway, you just keep each stream under a certain metric, and you wouldn't generate certain paperwork as a result. So I could make $50,000, $60,000, but boom, I'm getting 8,000 here, 8,000 here, 8,000 here, boom, boom, boom. And each one of these is an independent thing, and they're not linking up with each other. They would ask for, if somebody really looked into it, they do ask for certain identifying information somebody could audit, or if this was real, which obviously it isn't. This is a fake fictional story that's not admissible in court. But that would be the general idea, to where is it really evading anything there if they're not even giving me the paperwork to file in the first place? I'm thinking it's all on the level. So
yeah, I guess most people don't have 12 different sources of income like we do, so it'd be harder for them to pull that scam. But hey, I think we did nothing wrong.
Well, I'm thinking it's real. So I'm saying, it was Al Capone. Obviously, we're seeing,
Egg Capone. Are they going to get you for this, Eggy? Despite all your other crimes you commit, they're going to get you for this one.
I'm just really, I've put a lot, possibly my entire life, hedging on this whole 250 years of an empire thing. I've probably been thinking about it for 20 years. I've been really trying to. I'm riding it like how a bowling ball rides the gutter lane. Just staying out of it. Just stay on point, knock the last pin down, stay out of the gutter, at the end of the day.
As long as the new country that forms still allows people to get paid $100 to review Carlito's Way, I'm probably not going to notice a big difference in society. I don't really leave my house too much.
And as for me, I could still make up a song faster than AI can even generate it, so that's my go-to. I tried to tell Square that last night, but they still shut my account down. They said that's not legitimate business. So
you really got shut down on Square?
Yeah, I still got a different way to. But yeah, on the TTS thing that I signed up for, I got 2 donations through Square specifically, and the rest were coming otherwise. But yeah, they set up. Yeah, freestyle rap for donations is not a legitimate business. Yeah, they fucking shut my account down. Yeah, it froze it. So
who are they to decide?
It's gonna take 3 months, 90 days to get my $2, but it is what it is.
You gotta find something really stupid to spend that $2 on.
I'll buy Bitcoin with it. Maybe it'll be worth $1 million, in my children's lifetime.
It sounds like you should invest in gold. I heard that's skyrocketing all the time. Maybe it's too late now.
That's right.
Eggy, are you aware, and we could probably talk about this for the last 10 minutes, I'm really into this. Are you aware of the Rice Krispie Opera?
I've never heard of it.
So, when this channel first started, it was just me and Biggs, and we really got into this old commercial for Rice Krispies, where the man, his mother-in-law, keeps showing up unannounced with Rice Krispies as an excuse to be there, and he's so sad.
No more Rice Krispies. We ran out of Rice Krispies.
And in this film, the Rice Krispie song is a parody of the song performed in this movie. Al Capone is sitting in the opera, weeping as a man sings what, in my mind, sounds identical to the Rice Krispie opera. And I literally stood up and started clapping. Because, it's pure kino. I might have to edit the scene so that the man is actually singing the correct song.
Well, as a fat man who was taken to the opera once or twice myself, I did think it was very beautiful. It was unfortunate that, I love Sean Connery so much and all of his very good and positive comments about, intrasexual relationships over the years that were on all these TV shows. So that it had to come right after he got his ass smoked like some string cheese over an open flame. I tell you what, it was a little unfortunate because it was a beautiful scene and beautiful singing. And, I like... when I was a kid once, we have a local theater in my hometown that I was able to have a balcony seat like that once, and I tell you, you do feel like the Muppets that reviewed movies, whatever their names were.
Waldorf and Statler?
Yeah, and you feel like Abraham Lincoln. You feel like you're really top dog, top royalty.
You're about to get shot in the head.
Because you get almost like a touch of the backstage. You kind of see like a little bit of the curtain crew, kind of like off to the side.
You can see the actors waiting to run on for their part.
Right.
Yeah.
So you feel like you feel like you're a part of the whole experience. It's different. So
would you like to hear some music real quick?
Yes, sir.
Great moments at breakfast.
Can you hear that?
By Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
Before it's all gone. No more Rice Krispies. We ran out of Rice Krispies. Until I hear snap, crackle, pop.
And then the mother-in-law shows up, and she brought some Rice Krispies. This song was in the movie. What were you saying, Eggy? I just really needed to hear that right there. With your King Cobra magic wand, which, in my estimation, is probably increased in value tenfold.
Well, I think when I mentioned on the stream, I was mixing my drinks with it. I was like licking the drink off it, and I was like, there's some added value. I won't wash it for you. And I can't remember. I think I was a little drunk at the time to remember what people were talking about anyway. But
well, I'm gonna ban you from selling it because Vincent needs that for season 3 of the Vincent Show. So never if you gave up that King Cobra wand when he can't come back to make you a new one, I think that's an unforgivable sin, Eggy. You can't lose that.
I agree. I'll sell it for $34,000. I'll sell it for.
Even then, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, that's a King Cobra wand. There's only so many, and the man's dead.
Well, I'll say this much. Historically speaking, I've been a disorganized fellow. So if we wanted to really take odds on the chance that I might, I don't know if I would lose this, actually. I've lost a lot of
I'm not going to let you lose it, Eggy. If it's lost, I'll come search your house with you. It's a precious keepsake.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty true, yeah. And it really does. I mean, I feel like it's really got true Cobra magical qualities. I'm thinking about doing a stream tonight, even as a matter of fact, for Ozzy's birthday. And so I got my Ozzy shirt and everything. I'm thinking about, I should. I got, I have the means. I should appreciate that I got my channel back this year. It's kind of like, I feel like I was almost being shaken around like some of these fine, innocent businessmen like Al Capone. I'm just like, oh, just because I listened to a YouTube video that's already on YouTube, you want to take me away for 5 years or whatever? It's a corrupt system, and I'm sick of it, to be honest. Well, and actually I should say this, because I think I was under the impression that Al Capone died in prison, but maybe he didn't, because he gets sentenced to 11 years at the end of the movie, and I didn't bother looking up his biography after the fact. But I also did feel like it was almost Elliot Ness, which Kevin Costner, right? He's seems satisfied about that. And I'm like, I don't know, but how many? Didn't we just have like 6 people get murdered, and he gets 11 years in prison on tax evasion? It feels like it's a little light. I don't know if they ended up extending that, or if there was some, racketeering or something behind bars. because it doesn't mention it in the film. So
I'm looking at its wiki, and I'm seeing some shocking information, Eggy. Al Capone, sometimes known by the nickname... Do you know his nickname?
Babyface, right?
Scarface!
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me? De Palma made 2 different movies about 2 different Scarfaces?
Well, hold on. Yes, but also, to be fair, his was a remake of the 1932 film Scarface, which was based on Al Capone. So,
Okay.
yes.
Al Capone in this film was only like in his early 30s. He's younger than you, and he looked like a fucking old man. I guess when your hair's all fucked up, it doesn't help.
I'm putting grease in my hair now, like all my Italian heroes, so maybe I'll start looking more like him each day. I'm talking to like Italian vernacular, especially as I watch through. I'm about halfway through season 2 on The Sopranos now over the last 2-3 weeks or whatever.
Do you miss
I'm becoming
Big
more
Pussy
and more
yet?
Italian. What's that?
Do you miss Big Pussy? He's not around yet, silly, is he? Did I spoil something? I thought he got whacked way early in that show. Spoiler alert. Because I remember on Shark Tank, the guy who played Big Pussy came in with an invention called like the broccoli wad or something. It's supposed to hold your money, like some special wallet. And he's like, "Oh, I'm from The Sopranos." And yeah, I don't think you really were. He's in it for like 10 episodes maybe, and then they kill him. He's really cashing in on his 10-episode run.
When it comes to fat people, Bacala, is that Richie Bacala or whatever? He's the fattest one so far, and I feel like if I look at my side profile and I look at his side profile, the fact that he wears all polyester shirts, which I had some of those, I threw them all, I was doing some spring cleaning. It's just, when you're fat, it makes your man tits really, like, it stretches out enough for your fat, but your man tits are looking crazy. That's what that Barney Rubble or whatever his name was that Trump insulted in Congress was wearing. Fat people, we got to stop wearing these shirts. Just get the cotton shirts and, just stretch them out. We're pulling our shirts down. It's fine. But these polyester shirts, it looks terrible. I
do need to apologize to Eggy and every single Sopranos virgin, but Big Pussy dies at the end of season 2. So I spoiled that for no reason at all.
Well, where I'm at, it's kind of, you are right technically, but also at the same time, there's a lot of foreshadowing for it, I think, where I'm at already. So
yeah, oops.
It's all good.
It's been a hot minute since I watched The Sopranos. I needed to even double check that I had the correct name for all these silly names that they give those guys. Anything else from this film that we should talk about?
Well, I'll give a quick synopsis here for those who haven't seen it, since we kind of just been talking at little points here. So we have Elliot Ness. I knew about him because there's a DMX song called Untouchables, which is a really good song, by the way, one of my favorite DMX songs. I highly recommend it. But we the new Elliot Ness, yeah, we gonna put 2 in your chest. But whatever, I don't remember all of it, but it's a good song though. That's where the first time I ever heard about Elliot Ness, I thought he was like a rap guy they were beefing with or something at the time, because I was a kid. I probably heard it when I was like 7 or 8 years old. But he's on the hunt for Capone because they know he's a bad man. He's shipping in that delicious, delicious, lovable alcohol that, God, what a terrible time to be alive. We're living through part 2 right now, but, hey, we'll bounce back. I'm feeling it. He's trying to do his thing, but, he's not able. He's failing. He's not coming. There's a small child being blown to smithereens within the first few minutes. Truly harrowing.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it, because I teased this earlier and I forgot to really dive into it, but Al Capone's morality versus our Kevin Costner hero. And yeah, okay, the gangsters, they want the local pubs to be serving their shitty bootleg, and if the guy says no, maybe they leave a bomb and blow up the building. They didn't intend for a 10-year-old child to pick up the briefcase and explode. It is what it is, okay? It's no good, but that's only happening because of an unjust law called Prohibition. And that brings me to our main character here, our hero of the story, and he's saying to the police at the beginning, "I don't care if alcohol is actually good or bad for you. It doesn't matter. What matters is the law of the land, the words on the bill." He's basically a Nazi, like, oh, I'm just following orders. If it's the law of the land, then I have to enforce it no matter what. Like, he's literally admitting he does not care about the morality of if it's actually right or wrong what they're preventing. And then at the end of the movie, when they say, Prohibition's being repealed, what are you going to do? And he says, I'll have a drink. So he has no moral road of consistency inside of him. He just will obey laws blindly and enforce them blindly. That's pure evil. Al Capone admits every man deserves to have a drink, and I'm providing that to him. He's just allowing freedom. Normal freedom of man is Al Capone's goal. And this guy is just like, no, I have to shut everything down.
We see, what is the mob controlled over the years? They're controlling alcohol, they're controlling methamphetamine, they're controlling gambling, casinos, things like that. All harmless fun, maybe it's on us to moderate ourselves,
It only leads to violence because the government makes it illegal. If the alcohol was legal, Al Capone wouldn't have a job. You stupid motherfuckers. And now you're going to do that with weed. All you're doing is making a bunch of 18-year-old black guys become the new Al Capone of the 2030s, motherfuckers. Why do you keep doing this? Because you want to fill the prisons. Damn it, Eggy. Al Capone, they shouldn't have let him rot in prison. They should have made him the president.
I unironically agree. I mean, I guess that he killed one person and it had to be a fictional thing. It didn't even ever happen in real life. Meanwhile, FDR, he sent armed soldiers. He was putting 90-year-old women on their hands and knees with a gun to the back of their head saying, where's your gold coins? They're tearing your house apart. They're digging up your backyard. I'm sick of it. The government is all corrupt and evil. Smoke that smoke, drink that drink, middle fingers up to every badge and every blue. It is what it is. I'm not trying to, try to trigger anybody. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I think if you really think about it, you'll find out that these are not your friends. You think they are. Just following orders, just like Elliot Ness. So let's let children, get blown up because we don't want you to have a beer. It is what it is, I'm saying.
Yeah, Al Capone doesn't kill anybody by his own hand in reality. Our hero of the movie is like throwing people off of a roof in a rage. Like he's prepared to arrest him, but then he lets him piss him off. He gets mad and throws him off a roof. This is our hero? The fucking I was just following orders Nazi who's murdering people constantly?
Let's never forget, it's been a lot of years, but I'm going to tell you like this because everything gets lost in the news cycles. Remember that one cop was at that guy's apartment, whatever, made him crawl out on the floor and crawl out. He had the...
I hate that video.
He had "you're fucked" carved inside. And this is a cop. He's going in, clocking in every day, getting his badge every day. He's light, and he's got a father with children. He's begging for his life, and he's just, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not, obviously got some of these activist judges who let everybody out 100 times anyway,
yes.
And that, that makes people's lives bad also. But at the end, people got to figure it out, just because, it's the system is completely flawed. It's just like those boxes full of umbrellas. People, they're smashing at empty crates all day while the ship sinks or the booze is flying over your head. The point is being missed. So everybody make sure to vote and protest peacefully.
What do you mean vote? How do you vote your way out of this one, Eggy? Who do we vote for? Us?
I was being ironic.
Oh. What about that Massey guy? Can we vote for him to be president? I heard he's whatever pill is the correct color pill to be.
I have faith that one of Elon Musk's humanoid robots that's meant to sweep your floors is going to have some kind of malfunction that causes it to overthrow the world. I mean, if there's one thing to invest, if there's one reason to invest your money into AI, that's about all I got left. They say that AI robots are going to touch your so-and-so also and make you feel something good. But, I think that would probably be something I'm not interested in because I'm a committed man. So, anyways, let's hope that we all let's go out every day and make a better world for ourselves, and let's champion freedom.
Let's all hide in our houses and make internet videos while society falls apart and the 250-year empire collapses. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're going to check back in next year, folks, and if we can't smoke and we can't drink, then something's going to be smoking and I'll be drinking something. It might be something of my enemies. It is what it is.
Well, I don't think they'll ever ban drinking. I think those people own our politicians. But one thing that I did not see in the historical inaccuracy, so maybe this is real, but the judge in the court says, oh, all the jury is bribed. Okay, let's trade this jury with a different jury. And then immediately Al Capone's lawyer goes, we're going to change our plea to guilty. He's guilty. I'm like, wait, what? Can your lawyer could just flip on you and decide that you're guilty? I don't know if that's allowed.
No, I mean, I've seen it before, and I don't know if that's even accurate to the historical context, but I think the context I've seen them before is that's what you hired them for. You could fire your lawyer and say, no, he's not representing me anymore. That would be a way out of that, perhaps, and you're representing yourself, I don't know. But it's like they could say, oh, after some evaluation, he's mentally incompetent or something, he doesn't know what he's talking about, so in the best interest, it's something about, there's a term for it, but essentially it means like truthful, honest, best circumstances, like you really thought about it and this is like the absolute best thing regardless of what you're saying. They've determined you're not competent enough, so we're going to say this because it will objectively, based on the opinion of all groups, come to the most fair and accurate conclusion. I think there's something out there for it. Maybe I'm also wrong again, but and there's a term for it, but it's
the doctors do no harm speech, but for lawyering.
Well, it's like the same thing.
The Hippocratic Oath.
It's how you can be possibly, in theory, given some kind of minor citation if you were like drive by a car accident. What is it, like dutiful something or other, like dutiful, I don't know, something. If you gotta act in the best lawful, objectively correct interest. Otherwise, you could be penalized in some capacity. But once again, I might just be talking out of my behind because I don't have all this in front of me. This is all digging up thoughts out of my very foggy and dusty brain that has not gotten any sharper.
The idea of not being a good witness and like you get punished because you witnessed somebody else go through something bad and you didn't help them. I really hope that's not enforced when we have literal police officers too pussy to go into a school shooting. Like, are we going to tar and feather and murder that guy next, or is it just the rest of us who have to sacrifice our lives to help others?
Well, that also speaks to the fact that really there is no such thing as law in the first place. It's all about who you know. So folks, if you want to be like us and make YouTube videos, you know what, maybe make some ones that make cops and judges really happy to watch, and maybe they'll just let you do whatever you want for the rest of your life. So think about it.
Yeah, I don't know how Al Capone even got in trouble. It sounds like he bought the mayor. Like the mayor gave his thug a signed note that says he could have a gun or whatever. So, like, how does the mayor even allow this court to go through? I guess I don't understand it. I don't understand anything I'm talking about today, Eggy. We probably said so many things that are going to piss people off. I can't wait for all the engagement in the comment section.
And at the end of the day, really, we keep the right opinion, which is that as
government's always been bad.
It's a common quote of mine. I've been saying it for a lot of years. I'm hearing it's getting copied lately. So if it's getting copied and people are doing bad things, I just want to say I came up with the first. It's called #Life to America on Opposite Day. All one word.
So what's the opposite of America?
Antarctica, I think.
Okay,
I hear a lot of good things about that lately. I think Smiling Friends had an Antarctica flag on the wall that everybody really liked recently.
So the opposite of love to America is death from Antarctica. So what, the penguins are coming. Look out.
That's right.
They're pissed that we're melting their shit. Yeah.
Water's underwater. R.I.P. Rusty, hope he knows how to swim.
When I was reading the Zatch Bell manga, the fan who was translating it, like in the very last chapter, the main character Kyo, who's like a super genius, he mentioned something about global warming, and the fan translator like put a little asterisk and said, "I can't believe Kyo believes this dumb shit." Like, why are you giving me your opinion on this, Zatch Bell translator?
Oh, you know what? I have to say one thing real quick that's semi-relevant here. So, recently we did the Wicked 2 review, right? And I found out that this guy Bach in there, Ethan Slater, I think is the actor.
SpongeBob?
He left his wife and children for Ariana Grande. And I found out, yes, he does play SpongeBob in the SpongeBob musical. So I sat down to watch all 2 hours of it.
It's very good, huh?
Yeah, and Plankton says at one point something along the lines of like, "Oh, I bet these people believe in tidal warming." And I, stood up and started applauding. I was like, finally a real hero. Plankton has a Backstreet Boys synchronized rap number that he doesn't try to get in key for at all, but the dancing's pretty good. In any case, I would definitely recommend that everybody watch SpongeBob the Musical. It's available on all your favorite Cam Rip sites, the real Nickelodeon version. You don't have to watch a slime tutorial, but it is there, and it's about 25 minutes longer. Secondly, I thought The Untouchables still was a compelling film. Maybe, I might have found it to be morally gray, as we've speculated throughout the course of this recording. But, I thought for the amount that De Niro's in the film, he's lesser than as far as his content, runtime wise, but I thought he gave a fine performance, very impassioned. I liked the guy who played Frank Nitti. I guess I wasn't familiar with his actor, and maybe I got his name here, Billy Drago. So really, I believe he's quite an accomplished actor as far as I'm aware. But he did very well. I thought played his ruthlessness very well. Sean Connery, you gotta love him, and he did well. Kevin Costner, I've been kind of back and forth. I haven't seen a lot of Costner work, truthfully speaking, but I thought he was really playing well here. And Stone, I like his case. Kind of got that kind of kick to him. I thought that Charles Smith as the accountant guy, he had that good, quirky, nerdy kind of energy to him. He's even translated into the 1930s. I thought that also came through very well.
Yeah, he was the hero of the film to me when they're doing the raid on the bridge, and he's just like hitting people with the back of his shotgun and stuff. It really tore me up when he was murdered in the elevator. I did not see that coming.
And also the whole thing of Elliot Ness's family being put into like a protection and kind of getting him out of there. I mean, I thought that there was a lot of, even if it's speculative on how accurate it was, it felt.
Yeah, the wiki said he did not actually have a daughter.
It definitely still had the feeling to it. Like I said, the only thing that really seemed off to me was, as I mentioned at the beginning, the Sean Connery being shot 20 times, still crawling around and having the ability to tell Elliot Ness everything that he had to know.
Which the wiki did verify that actually was one of the true things that did happen. So it was just De Palma staying true to reality.
I would say probably. I mean, I don't know, if it didn't specify the amount of gunshots, I think maybe I could see it being a little extra in the film to kind of get the point across. Maybe just for visual effect there, that to get some extra blood trail or whatever. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fine picture.
Yeah, you said you haven't seen a lot of Kevin Costner films, and Eggy, I need to make a horrible confession here on Is It Kino in front of everybody. I might be a fake De Niro and fake Scorsese fan who just I've watched all the new things as they come out, and I love them. Of course, I've seen Taxi Driver, but Eggy, I've not seen Raging Bull. I've not seen The King of Comedy. I've not seen Casino. I don't even know if he's in that. Do we need to go back and watch all of these classic De Niro movies, Eggy?
I've seen Casino. I saw that recently, and I think that's a good picture. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Raging Bull I watched probably over 20 years ago because there was an old cartoon, a Flash cartoon that was like an original YouTube poop. You might have seen it, where it's Fred Flintstone like dubbed with lines from Raging Bull. No. And I probably watched that 1,000 times back in like 2000, 2001. Oh, it's classic. I'm sure
What's
it's
he saying?
YouTube. He's just he's just quoting these lines, and they like sync it with Fred Flintstone. Like, oh, fuck your mother. Was that? Fuck your mother. I mean, it's great. I mean, it was like the pinnacle of Kino back in the year 2000. So once I was able to, I think they call it Raging Fred or something. It's on, but it was on
Fred Figglehorn.
It was like on
Fred
Albino
Flintstone.
Black Sheep. Yeah, Albino Black Sheep. I don't even know if it was on Newgrounds. It might have been a little too heavy on there. I can't remember, but classic. That's what got me to watch that in like the mid 2000s, and it was a fine picture. Don't get me wrong. I'd actually recommend it. I seem to remember pretty fondly. Shot in black and white, as I recall.
Well, now I'm thinking instead of doing a Raging Bull Is It Kino, we should just review the Fred YouTube poop.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I'll
get that
legendary.
same idea, I imagine, a little bit shorter than the film.
That's true, but it is a good film though.
I'm scared to watch The King of Comedy because I heard if I watch that, I'm not gonna like Joker anymore, and I still want to like Joker.
But we had Joker too, so maybe that tempered your.
Yeah, no, Joker 2 didn't ruin Joker for me, so maybe this won't. But if I see that it was whole cloth, stolen, beat for beat, maybe I won't be so happy. But I think that's it for This Is a Kino. We'll be back with Carlito's Way soon. Avatar 3's coming out. Me and Heartsy will probably review Five Nights at Freddy's this weekend. I don't know if Eggy's going to be around, but you should probably skip that one if you can, Eggy. I'm not going to force you to watch Five Nights if you don't want to, but you could hop on if you're free this weekend. I know it's your big birthday.
Yeah, it should be. I know for sure I'm going to be traveling or busy at least for the Zootopia 2 episode. But Five Nights at Freddy's, I might be able to.
Well, if you're around on Sunday, I think that's when we're doing it.
Very possible, very possible. I think it's certainly could be so.
So, hey, if you're a member, hey, you're going to get daily kinos. Carlito's Way tomorrow, Zootopia 2 on Friday if Weekend Warrior fucking shows up, because he didn't last Friday when we were supposed to record that. And now I have to remember the events of this cartoon of a week later for the podcast, so thank you, Weekend Warrior, for that. And then everything else. We still got to do a Wasted Hours episode this year as well, Eggy, so a lot coming out before the year comes to an end.
And maybe I'll watch that tonight, who knows, or tomorrow.
No, we're not going to get to that for weeks. So that movie will leave your brain as soon as it's over, Eggy. You might have to take extensive notes if you're going to wait weeks to review it.
Maybe I'll get ahead of the curve and I'll write the Wikipedia entry for it that maybe has not been created yet, so that'll give me some extra time to really jot down all the ideas.
Wow, does that movie have a Wikipedia? Because I guess every movie deserves to have one. So that'll be our next goal. Eggy will write the Wikipedia for Kino Corner's movie. Hey, folks, if you...
Right now...
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Wasted Hours redirects to The Suburbs, which is the third studio album by band Arcade Fire. So obviously, I guess because there's one song on it called Wasted Hours, and that it takes precedence. So we're going to figure that out, folks. So just wait on that.
I think Kino Corner's movie is more important than one track from the third album of whatever band you said. But maybe I'm wrong. It's probably actually much better in quality. Folks, if you enjoy One Piece and you want to hear me and Eggy review every single volume, we're about to record volume 70 right after this podcast. So go to Mumkey D. Jones on YouTube and hit subscribe. Go check out our One Piece podcast. Eggy, what do you want to plug this week?
Just go ahead and find my YouTube channel at One Egg White. Make sure to go be subscribed to that because I'm getting back in the mix of it's still been a little spotty or a little slower, but we're building back up. I think 2026, as long as the channel's existing, I'm gonna make good use of it. So make sure you are subscribed, notifications on. Thank you very much.
Peace, people.